All right, Girl Scouts, Miss Candice here again, Girl Experience Manager for Girl Scouts of Central California South. Here to show you the hands-on portion of your SWAPS. Now, it looks like somebody has burgled me. Who has all my SWAPS? So I actually have them set out so I can show you where they all go to. In your bag, you should have lots of different little things. And we learned from Miss Mary what SWAPs are, and I think we should make some. Before you get started, what you want to have is some pretty basic stuff. So some glue. Okay, I just have regular school glue. If you're older and your parents are okay with it, you can use hot glue, but you don't have to. Having some scissors handy would be a good idea. These are child-safe scissors, so I know I'm safe. And I have some colored pencils and markers and a pen, but you use whatever you have, it's fine. So we have supplies for our knots swap. So that would be the little teeny tiny bag, the square knot instructions, and the little piece of string, and the all-important safety pin, okay? And in your bag, you should also have 3 pipe cleaners. They should be reminiscent of fire colors. Whoops, almost dropping those. And you should also have 3 sticks. Just like that, right? 3 sticks, 3 pipe cleaners, and a safety pin. And then you may have some other pieces in there. Hopefully you have you may have either a card with some googly eyes on it and some different kinds of chocolate and a marshmallow. And of course, safety pin. Or you may have in your bag what looks like a teeny tiny little torch and a color of puff. Not sure what color puff you have. You might have a white one. You might have a colored one like I do. And this already has a safety pin on it, so just like that. And then you should also have a couple of different colors of card. Now, not the dark one. Well, maybe, yeah, you could use the dark one. So you're going to decide which of the 3 cards you want to use for your swap tag, which Miss Mary explained. And then you're going to have one that goes to your last swap that you can make, which is this little guy. He's a recycled bottle cap with some googly eyes on him. And we're going to glue him first. So whatever color you want to glue him to the background, just like that, we're actually going to glue him to this. And the reason is that when he's glued, he is now an emoji. So if we put a silly smile on him with his tongue sticking out, he's an emoji. Maybe we turn him into a lion. You draw a mane on him. Ooh, I'd have to switch my paper if I did that. Let's see. If I did a lion, I should do this yellow paper, just like that, and kind of like draw his mane around there. Okay, so let's do that first because we'd like the glue to dry a little bit. Glue, 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 glue. All right, so I'm just putting glue around the edge of my little face guy. Guess last time we used this glue, we tightened it too much. If you watch my knots video, you'll see how strong I am. Very strong. All right, got this guy glued. I'll show you in just a second. I did get a little glue around the edges. But that's why we glued him first, because we want him to dry all the way. And then we can work on his beautiful furs. Okay, see, he's glued on there. He's a little crooked. That's okay. All right. It's all right, face guy. Hang out there. Let's work on this torch one next. So one of the really special things about SWAPS, oh, by the way, if you haven't watched Miss Mary's video about SWAPS, the history, what a swap is, that sort of thing, go back and watch that one and then come back and watch this one, okay? So one of the great things about SWAPS is that you're able to reuse things that otherwise would have been thrown away. So a lot of girls stopped using, well, a lot of people stopped using non-reusable plastic straws recently within the last few years because the amount of plastic that goes into the ocean and affects our ocean wildlife is really harmful. And there are things that we can do to make that not so harmful. One of the ways that we can help that is by reusing some of these plastics that would normally be thrown away. So this is actually the lid to a type, hold on. We could drop everything too. Oh boy, it really went under this table. I'm gonna have to lift up this whole apparatus here. All right. So this is the lid to a type of syringe that you can only use one time. So the person that uses these, crafting here, the person that uses these pops them off, puts them in a container. This never touches anything. So we just wash them and then dry them and then reuse them. So what this is going to be for our swap is it's actually going to be an ice cream cone. So this one, for some reason, my hot glue popped off, but hopefully yours stays. If it doesn't, then you can ask an adult to help you, or you can glue it yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of glue on our puff. So not the white cotton ball. That is for your s'mores swap, in case you hadn't figured that one out. So I don't know what flavor of ice cream this would be. What do you think? Orange sherbet? Mango sorbet? I don't know, but if I got a big scoop of that on a hot summer day, I would be so happy. So I just put, I'll take it out for a second. So I just put a blop. I just took the lid off of my school glue, just put a blop on there and then squished it in there. The secret to school glue is you have to let it dry. So I'm gonna put it next to our little face guy and let them dry. All right, so, oh man, this is fun. Okay, so what do we do next? What do we do next? How about, in order to make our s'more, we have to build our fire. So let's go there. So let's get our 3 pieces of wood, like that. Now, you can do this a couple of different ways. You can make a little teepee fire, yeah, and then put 1 or more of these underneath there. What I like to do is I like to stack them like they're logs, yeah? And then I like to take these pieces of pipe cleaner and I fold them in half. So fold them in half, just like that, okay? And I take my bundle of wood, and it doesn't have to be perfect because you think about when you see a stack of logs, they're not necessarily perfect. Okay, so I just have my pipe cleaners folded in half. I'm gonna squish them together like that, and then I'm gonna take my pieces of wood and I'm going to twist, twist, twist. Now I have a little bundle of fire. Now I don't know if that's fiery enough for me. So I'm just gonna kind of move these logs around a little bit. Maybe I'm gonna move these pipe cleaners about, get them organized. Now what's nice about this is once we have our, there we go. Once we have our SWAPS card done for this one, we're actually ready to put it on a safety pin. So safety pins are great, but they really do have a pokey edge to them. So if you don't know, I'm gonna set my swap down. if you don't know how they work, is they have one stationary edge. So right here, that doesn't move. Stationary means it doesn't move. And then one moving edge. So this bottom part, so you can kind of see it right there. So you're going to pinch it and it's going to come out and it is pokey. So don't poke your hand. That happens a lot. But we have these nice little loops already made from our fire, so we can actually just go ahead and put this right through our pipe cleaners. So I just put it right through the bottom. And why don't we work on our first swap card? So the swap card is the little piece of paper or the little piece of cardboard that you put with your swap. And the whole purpose of the swap is so that if you do swap it with somebody, they, one, know what the swap was for, have some sort of reference point for you, and it tells them a little bit about why you made that swap, okay? So I have my little piece of recycled cardboard right here, and I'm gonna put on there Miss Candice. And I will put my troop number on there. If you don't have a troop number and you're from our council, you can use troop 1377, so 1377. And then when you get a troop number assigned to you, you'll have your official troop number. But that's like our council troop for girls that haven't been placed yet, but also there's a lot of us girls in that troop. Okay, so troop 1377. So it looks like that. I think this would have been prettier if I used a marker, but lesson learned. So on one side, I put my information, and on the other side, I put what I call this swap. And you can name your swap whatever you want. It's really important that on the information side, just like Miss Mary said, we don't want to ever include anything that would give anyone too much information about you. So it doesn't have my last name on there, doesn't have my phone number, doesn't have my email address, doesn't have my home address. Let's say that somebody does want to swap swaps with you and you are really becoming good friends and you want to be able to contact each other. The best way to do that is have the adults exchange information. You let them take care of that, and that'll keep you at least not putting too much information up there. Okay, so what should we name this swap? I'm gonna name it So I named it Hot Summer Cool Nights Campfire, because the only time we would have a campfire right now is if it was a cool night. So if I had a hole punch handy, I would punch a hole in this and I would put it right through my safety pin, but I don't. So I'm gonna be very careful. I'm gonna poke this just a little bit. Hopefully not poke myself, because that would be very painful. All right. So once it's through, just like that. And now this is something you can wear on your Girl Scout vest or Girl Scout sash. Or if you don't have a Girl Scout vest or sash, you can start making a swaps kind of collection on really anything. You could put it on your crafting apron. You could put it on a hat. You could put it in a bag. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do with this swap. I'm going to save it for when I meet with my Girl Scouts, and I'm going to swap it with somebody there. So there's that one. One done. Okay, let's do this square knot. So, did you watch my square knot video? Did ya? I see you. All right, so we're going to tie our square knot out of our teeny tiny little rope that we have. And if you haven't watched the square knot video, you should. It's really fun. I won't tell the joke, I promise. I really promise I won't tell the joke. You had to watch the Knots video to know. Okay, so we have in this little bag, we're gonna put our instructions of what a square knot is, and then the actual knot, just like that. And this is a really great example of how fun and miniature swaps can be. And so if you ever have any like jewelry that comes in these teeny tiny bags, sometimes you get charms, they come in bags like this, save them, just put a little, like put them in your craft drawer or your craft bag or whatever, and then you can use them to make swaps. So there you go. That's just the square knot one. So again, I would fill out a little card with my SWAPS tag information. So Miss Candice. And then what else do you need? You got to pin it on somewhere. It's a special whatchamacallit, affectionately pinned somewhere. So safety pin. This one's going to be easier to poke through. There we go. And now I can put this in my SWAPS bag too. SWAPS are fun. All right. So we made our campfire. I feel like making s'mores. What about you? Okay. We had a campfire, now let's make s'mores. So if you know anything about s'mores, you know that they're delicious. They are great during the summer. And unlike a regular s'more, my s'more is going to be happy. I mean, a regular s'more might be happy. They probably just don't know we're going to eat them. Okay, so a s'more is going to have a graham cracker. This one has a little smile and googly eyes. Some marshmallow, that's the part we roast, right? Some chocolate. I think we included a couple of different kinds of chocolate. So there's like felt chocolate, but there's also cardboard chocolate. So it's up to you. And I realized that we didn't include 2 graham crackers. So if you want, you can pretend like this is your other graham cracker, or maybe you're having an open-faced s'more. So this swap is really fun because again, it's just a bit of glue. So that glue that you had before. And if you only have like, did you see my face? It was a lot of glue. If you only have a glue stick, so like the kind that you use on paper, that may not work, but it might be okay. I think it would be worth trying. You might have to make a little run to the dollar store and get some glue though. Okay, so I put a good amount of glue on my marshmallow and my graham cracker. I put just a bit of glue on my chocolate. I'm gonna make a s'more. And that's our little s'more swap. Now when this dries, you do just like the other ones. You're gonna make your SWAPS card or SWAPS tag all about your swap, and then you're gonna put a safety pin through it and put a safety pin through this guy. I'm gonna let him dry because I feel like if I put him in my SWAPS bag right now, they'll glue it closed. All right, so let's talk about our emoji. Let me reach over here and see if I can get my pen. Now, I love the idea of making him like, I don't know. Well, I wanted to make him have teeth, but I think my bottle cap has a funny texture to it. All right, so you're gonna use like a marker, probably. This is not showing up so great. He actually looks like he has a Nike swoosh. He's a swoosh emoji. So you're gonna use your markers or your crayons to make yourself your emoji and let that dry a little bit more because mine just came off. And then you're gonna do the same thing. So you should have your swap with your emoji. You should have your swap with your ice cream. I won't eat this. I know that this is not edible. And then you got to remember for those last 2 swaps, you're going to put your SWAPS tags. Now, one more time, a SWAP stands for special, whatchamacallit, affectionately pinned somewhere. Okay, so now here comes the challenge. You may have some extra little bits and pieces left over from your SWAPS bag. Look around your house. See if you have little things that you would normally throw away or recycle, and see if you can reuse them. Also, I challenge you to find ways in your own home to be able to find ways to reuse things or make or use reusable things like cups that you can wash, straws that you can do the same so you don't have to throw them away, because that's a really small way to make the world a better place. All right, Girl Scouts, this is Miss Candice, and I can't wait to see you again for whatever we do next. All right, bye there.